Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're on. We are going live, and I've got a new microphone today. Actually, using a microphone from one of my business partners. It's one of these cool Yeti things. Never used one of these before, so hopefully my sound is pretty good. It should be better. Like I said, I'd never used one of these things, so I have no idea how it works. So if I could get any feedback from anybody, that would be greatly appreciated. And so a couple of different housekeeping things as people are starting to come on. As you guys come on, please say hello. I love the energy that it creates for everybody. And so the other thing I want to do on a housekeeping standpoint is thank everybody, especially Lemore and Elizabeth, for Friday's webinar that we did. And that was a lot of fun. Had a great time with those guys. Lemore was a student of mine back in 2013, I believe. And just to see the progress that people make over the years is pretty cool. And so, all the way from Phoenix, good morning, Amanda. And so, can you all hear me loud and clear? If you could give me thumbs up on the audio, I'm assuming you can hear me. Like I said, I got a pretty cool microphone here, so I hope it's the best sound that I've had as I've been doing the Facebook Live videos. And so anyway, so I got the opportunity to talk with Lemore and get kind of catch up a little bit with her. My wife is listening, obviously, thanks Jen, and she's got my niece with her, Sloan. So Sloanie Baloney, it's good to see you, and yes, I'm talking about you on Facebook right now, so we're talking about streaming you all around the world. So Allison, how are you today? So we've got the Canadian connection, we've got a local connection, I've got people in Phoenix, so it's great to see and hear everybody today. Thanks to Amanda, I appreciate letting me know that it was clear signal. That's awesome. And so anyway, other housekeeping notes. Talked about Lemore and Elizabeth. Great to see those guys last week. Other housekeeping notes, and I don't know how to explain this any better, and I don't know exactly how to let everybody know all the stuff that is going on and everything. We are going to be doing all the way from the UK. Hey, Haley, how you doing? Haley, you've probably been on almost every one of these, so let me know with a thumbs up if the sound is the same, better, worse. I got a new microphone here, so I'm working with some cooler technology today. So Haley's all the way over in the UK, so if it works over in the UK, then obviously it should work here in the Kansas City area pretty good. And so anyway, housekeeping stuff. We've been talking about sales. Oh, look. Kita, are you from, it's Texas. Killeen, Texas, I think is where I met you. Met you last time. Awesome. And so I think that's where you're from. Definitely better. Okay, well, then that's good. We've upgraded the microphone, so the sound's upgraded. It was just because I cleared my throat. That's why the sound is better today, I think. And so, love the sweatshirt. I like the black with the blue. And so, yeah, we're definitely up in our game with all the, and my business partners say it's called swag. Now, I have to tell you, that's not a word I would ever have thought I would have used in my life, is swag. And so, I'm not sure what swag stands for. I know I've heard it before, but I never thought I'd be using it. So, we've got all kinds of swag, and I like the black with the blue better than the other ones that I have. But either way, I can't believe I'm talking about sweatshirts now. Hey, Peter, how you doing? Oh, awesome. Fort Hood, Killeen, Texas, Lakita. I thought that's where you were from. And so, or at least that's where I met you. I know that you could be from a lot of different places because when I would do classes, people from different cities would go to the classes that I had. You say swag 10 times a day now. Bradley, I appreciate all the help with that. That's what I need, is people like you smacking me as much as I can. Anyway, so other housekeeping things. On the 23rd, 24th, 25th of October, we're going to be doing a 3-day training on sales. And I know some of you guys that are on here already have signed up for that. And yes, there's a cost for it. Everybody's like, well, is it free? Because everything I'm seeing online right now is free. Everybody and their brother's offering free stuff. I have a very, very specific opinion about free things. I believe in life, if you don't put any skin in the game, if you don't have an investment, you don't take it seriously. We want the people on that 3-day training to take it seriously. Now, on the other hand, it's 100% money back guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, you get your money back. I think you'll get way more than the $100, and some of you guys are doing $200 VIP things and things like that. But you'll definitely get your money's worth, and if you don't, it's completely guaranteed. So I believe if you don't have skin in the game, if you do not put any effort out, you're not going to get the result. It's kind of like if somebody gives you a free steak, you don't expect that steak to be near as good as the steak you paid $75 for. At least that should be your expectation. You put something into something, you should get something out. So anyway, point I want to make is that when we go into this, that 23rd, 24th, 25th, I've got a couple of different things happening. I've got a lot of people that got emails from me. I've got a lot of people that said they haven't seen an email from me that should have seen an email from me. So I'm going to ask you to check your junk folder, your spam folder. That would be greatly appreciated. If you don't even if you haven't gotten an email because you're not on my list some way, somehow. So if Lakita didn't get an email from me, she wants an email, just send me a private message and I'll be happy to send you the link, and I'll even tell you the link. And I'm sure somebody like Bradley or somebody that could type this in for me because I can't multitask. If you just go to burbanksummit.com, it takes you to the page where you can see what the 3-day training's all about. Sign up for it if you like to. Please understand that is going to be a week from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the sooner we get to know the people, how many people we have signed up, the sooner we can get all that stuff done. Peter, I sent a thing out yesterday to my Canadian friends for Happy Thanksgiving. Is Monday actually the day that Thanksgiving is celebrated in Canada? I know it's like the second weekend in October, and I couldn't remember if it was like the Monday, but you guys celebrate mostly over the weekend, that kind of thing. And the point I want to make on that is I don't know why the Thanksgiving things are all different. And Haley, I could ask you guys, do you guys have something in the UK called Thanksgiving of any kind? I don't even know. I know our Thanksgiving is until the end of November. We sent out our email blast on Saturday, which I think was probably not the best day to send it out because a lot of the people that are in my contact list are Canadians, and I'm sure they weren't even thinking about emails. They were probably thinking more about food and desserts and everything else, which I completely understand. So if you haven't had a chance to open the email, if you haven't got an email and you just want the information, go to burbanksummit.com and you can click right on there and it can explain everything that's going on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we're talking a lot about sales. And so when we talk about sales, Monday's the holiday. That's what I thought somebody had said. I think Allison is actually on here. Allison Corey. I was in Canada probably about 6-7 years ago on Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, and that's the weekend I met Allison Corey. And so, Steve, thank you very much for putting that up there. I appreciate it. So there's the link to that. And so Allison, I met her the weekend of Thanksgiving, which is kind of going to be a great segue into what I'm going to talk about today. And one of the things I think I put in the title is never quit, never be satisfied is what it comes down to. If I could meet somebody like Allison who said, you know what, yeah, it's a holiday weekend. I'm not sure why they scheduled the training for that weekend years ago, but they did. And for me, it wasn't a holiday, but for all the Canadians, it was. But Allison came into that training. And what was interesting, she could have made a lot of excuses. We're going to talk about that today, excuses and quitting and all that kind of stuff. And Allison could have made a lot of excuses, but she said, no, I'm going to do something to change my life. And so, Amit, the only reason I remember anything is because it's passion. If you love something, you're going to remember it. If you keep it in front of you all the time, and that's the point I want to make today, is you never, ever quit. 7 years ago. Awesome. Thought we enlightened you to Thanksgiving here. You might have that weekend. I don't know. I don't remember ever training on another Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. I thought it was odd that somebody messed it up and had you guys scheduled that weekend because it was our Canadian office. They were doing the scheduling for the fact that they scheduled that weekend, I thought it was weird. But Allison, I truly believe everything happens for a reason. I know I've been watching your Facebook stuff and you like the law of attraction kind of stuff, and I agree with all of that. So there was a reason we were brought together, Allison, that many years ago on Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. So that was pretty cool that I can go back and say that. So in the UK, you celebrate, Alfonso, you're cracking me up. Halloween and bonfire night in the UK, October, November. Well, we do Halloween as well. But the Canadian Thanksgiving is just about a month and a half earlier than the U.S. Thanksgiving. But either way, I'm sure Steve Hipple will celebrate both the Canadian and the U.S. Thanksgiving just so that he can get more food. I guarantee he will definitely do that. And so anyway, what we want to talk about today is kind of what I was talking about with Allison, is that if you have a big enough why, you'll figure out how. And so I guarantee Allison was thinking that weekend, it's Thanksgiving, should I go to this thing, not? And I'm sure there was that back and forth. Just like people a week from Friday are going to be, well, I'm busy with this, I got this, I can only make this time, that time. I cannot stress enough, you can make money, you can make excuses in this world, but you can't do both. You can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't do both. And I'll say to you guys, well, money isn't everything. I never would say money is everything, but money does give you options. And the more options you have in life, the more choices you get, generally life becomes a little bit more fun. If you only have $5 to go eat lunch today, you can only eat lunch so many places. If you have $50 to eat lunch, the amount of choices you have go up exponentially. So money gives you choices. It gives you options. If you're a person that likes to give to charities or homeless or whatever it is, the more capital you have, then you have the ability to do more stuff for people. And so what we have to understand is you've got to make decisions every day. And some of those decisions are tough. And that's why I choose to never quit. I could talk about my brothers, my sister, all that kind of stuff, and we talk about things on a regular basis. And I remember my older brother saying to me one time, I'd just gotten kicked out of Canada. They just kicked me out of the country. I was going up there doing a bunch of trainings. They kicked me out one weekend, just said, hey, you can't come back. And I remember talking to my older brother about it. His name is Steve, and he said, oh, don't worry, Pip, you make your own luck. And so I truly never forgot that comment that he made. You make your own luck. And I'd heard it before, but I hadn't heard it the same way until he said that to me. Because, whenever you get kicked a little bit, a lot of people have gotten kicked in the last number of months. Many people have lost loved ones. I get that. That is tough. Many people have been affected in multiple different ways, both physically and financially, mentally, all those different things. You can either choose when you get kicked to get back up or to stay down. That's your call. That's not anybody else's. And so I always choose, no matter what's happening in the world, whatever happening in life, that I'm going to keep moving forward, keep taking another step forward. And I think it's so important that you guys are thinking the same thing. Go back to that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, coming up here a week from Friday. You can make money, you can make excuses, but you can't do both. I've had people, I'm going to use Alfonso for an example here. I met Alfonso in 2012, I believe. He can correct me if I'm wrong. Alfonso has taken his business to a much higher level, one of the rent-to-own kings in all of Ontario. I might say all of Canada, but I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Alfonso was one of the first people to sign up for my training. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Alfonso was the first people to sign up for my training because I guarantee Alfonso's never going to be satisfied with the status quo. He knows that there's always that next step to take. And one of the things I think is most important, I was talking to a good friend of mine over the weekend. His name is Tim Sy. Many of you guys here in Canada know Tim. And Tim made a comment. He goes, every year I set aside a budget of what I'm going to spend to educate and to make myself better. You are the only can't-miss thing in this world. I appreciate it, Alfonso. Because if you keep investing in yourself, that's the one thing that'll never go down in value. I've done tons of property deals. I've been very, very blessed to have a lot of success with sales around the world. But I realize I can always learn more stuff. I can always learn more things, new things. And if you ever get satisfied with the status quo, I got a book I'm going to show you here in just a second. This is a great book. And if you're into, any kind of sports, it's a great book. Because what it does is it realizes that generally the biggest obstacle is the 7 inches between your ears. It's that 7 inches between your ears. And if you can get that going in the right direction, you can do anything that you want. So I guarantee I'm never going to stop. But I also realize that we got to keep raising the bar. And so I'll use Alfonso. If he can just figure out, if he can go to and get some better sales training, and I'm sure he's great at what he does, but if he can have somebody help him do a little bit better, then maybe he can close 1 or 2 or 3 more deals next year. I'm sure Alfonso would not have a problem if he could close 1, 2, or 3, 4 more deals, whatever it is. Glenn just hopped on here. Glenn's a real estate investor. I'm sure if Glenn could just get one more. Now, in the UK, they call them angel investors. In the US and Canada, we call them joint venture partners. So basically what you're doing is you're finding somebody to bring the money and many times the credit to get into a deal. If I can have somebody else, OPM, other people's money, and OPC, other people's credit. And yeah, I have that up here for a reason today because I knew I was going to talk about OPM and OPC. Robert Kiyosaki talks about other people's money all the time. We talk about other people's credit. If I can bring other people's money and other people's credit to a deal, how much of my own money and credit do I need to bring? In many instances, 0. And so you can exponentially change your life when you can start learning how to, and I'm going to use this term, but it's not really the best term, sell people on your ideas. If you can serve them in a better way. I guarantee if I can get Allison a 25% return on her money, she's probably going to go, how do we do that? And she's probably going to even many times think that we're not able to even make that happen. So I think it's imperative we understand we're always trying to do better. The book I wanted to show you, now whether you read the book or not is irrelevant. The name of the book is called 359.4. Now that may mean nothing to anybody that's on this call right now. The book is by a guy by the name of John Bryant. He's talking about The Quest to Break the 4-Minute Mile by Roger Bannister. There was a long time, and I mean a long time, up until the 50s, that nobody thought the 4-minute mile barrier could be broken. And I mean nobody thought. Some of the best runners, all the best training, never could make it happen. And so what's interesting, I think it's important that what we're looking at here, I'm getting a little comments on my microphone, so I'm going to do something real quick. This is all brand new technology for me, so I'm going to turn this gain down a little bit. Steve, thanks for the feedback there, and maybe that'll help a little bit. And so where there's a will, there's a way. Allison, you guys are awesome. And so going back to this book, and Steve, if that helped or not, let me know. He sent me a text message while I'm trying to talk here. I'm a little bit hard to work things out, but here I'm doing phone messages, I'm holding up books, I'm doing a Facebook Live. My wife says I can't multitask. I'm showing her today. That's what I'm talking about. And so anyway, the quest to break the 4-minute mile, it literally was something that nobody, in fact, there was a period of time where they were like just giving up because nobody thought it could be done. Now, the interesting thing about it is once the 4-minute mile mark was broke, dozens of runners did it within the next couple of years. So what changed before and after? It had nothing to do with the physical ability of people. It had nothing to do with the people's, because people that could run a 4.01 mile physically had the ability to run a 3-minute, 59-second mile. There was no difference. I mean, it's 2 seconds. Over the course of a mile, that's a very small amount. And so what I think, thanks Steve, I appreciate that. I just turned the gain down on the microphone. So Dan sent me this microphone and I didn't do all the settings. I wasn't sure how to do it. That's why I'm using it today. And we'll practice with it and hopefully we'll get better with it. Anyway, thanks Steve. And so after the mindset changed, and this is why it wasn't a physical thing. Once everybody saw that the 4-minute mile could be broken, dozens of people did it within the next couple of years. There were a lot of people that were really close, but why weren't they breaking it? Because they didn't think they can do it here. And when you don't think you can do something here, it doesn't matter what else, nothing's going to change. You're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Einstein calls that insanity. And so I think what we have to realize, I have no problem if you're satisfied with where you're at in life, but I've heard this from many people, that if you had a great life, whatever, and you see this many times and you see people retire. They've worked really, really, really hard, and then all of a sudden they retire, and then within 6 months they're dead. I can name football coaches I've seen that happen with. I've seen that with other people. I think the one thing we always have to realize, you can move one of two directions in life. You can go forward, you can go backward, but you can't stay the same. And so I encourage everybody to never, ever quit. Understand there's always going to be somebody there with their hand out saying they can help you out. When you get knocked down, if you get knocked down 6 times, get up 7. It's a pretty simple math equation, but it's really tough for people to do that. I guarantee Alfonso had a lot more people tell him no on his real estate deals than have told him yes. But if you only focus on the yeah or the no's, you're never going to get to the next yes. What we want to be able to show you as it goes through sales is it's not about selling, it's about serving. And so we always, my mother-in-law just retired. She worked at the same company, I think it was 46 years. Now, the reason she did it is because, and I can't believe I'm saying this about my mother-in-law because it's going to be recorded, and I don't know if I want to have this on recording, because she's awesome and she takes care of people, and she worked with adults with disabilities. So the job and the work that she performed was something that everybody needs in this world. It's helping people that can't help themselves. That's huge. Or showing people how to help themselves that need a little bit of help doing that. So that, to me, no matter what, is you're never going to stop. And Linda just retired. In fact, she retires Friday, I think is her last day, but it's all happening in this week. And she's been with the same place for 46 years. Most of you guys on this call aren't even 46 years old. She's been doing the same thing, 46 years, helping people get to a better place. And so I've been blessed to surround myself with people like Linda. Obviously, I married her daughter, so I must think her daughter's okay too. And so, Peter, I could use Peter as an example. He had a health issue a couple years ago. You're going to have to get knocked down. But I think the reason we get knocked down is because I think we appreciate it more when we get back up and we have success. And so I think it's imperative that all of us never quit. I think it's imperative that when we think there's a barrier that we can't break, I could go back to many people that are on this, showing people how to help themselves. That's the goal. My goal is to always help more people. And I've sent out tons of emails over the last couple of weeks, and I can't believe the amount of comments I've gotten from people. Hey, this was life-changing. This has totally changed my life. Amanda Soto was the first person that made a comment on the chat box over here this morning. And what was interesting, and I'm going to use Amanda. Her and her husband, I met them, I'm going to say about a year and a half ago. It was in Phoenix. And they were getting ready to do a real estate deal. If I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amanda, I'm sure it was you guys that I did this with. They were get ready to do a real estate deal. And I don't remember what the deal was exactly, but I said to them, show me the numbers and I'm going to give you my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to disagree with me. I don't care about that. But at least get somebody that gives you an outside opinion on this, whatever that is. And after I got done looking at the deal, I said, you want me to tell you what you want to hear, what you need to hear? They said, well, what we need to hear. See, a lot of times people want just what they want to hear. So they want you to pat them on the back and say they're doing a great job. As a trainer, as a mentor, as a teacher, my job is not to tell you what you want to hear, it's to tell you what you need to hear. Because the only way you're going to improve is if somebody kicks you in the assets and you do something different. And so I told them I didn't think this deal was for them, and I think they should get out of it. If I remember right, Amanda, it was a mortgage broker telling you, correct me if I'm wrong, Amanda, it was a mortgage broker telling you that you could just check the mortgage note that said you were going to be owner-occupied, and that way you could go with less money down instead of getting into the mortgage that was the legal part of it, or the right way was to show it as a commercial mortgage. And sometimes the right answer is a lot harder than the wrong answer. Amanda could have got into that deal. She could have got into that deal with less money down, but I said, that's wrong. And your moral compass, whatever you want to call it, your integrity. Integrity's doing the right thing even when nobody's looking. They could have done that deal and the mortgage company probably would have never said anything. And sadly, okay, that was you guys. I thought it was. And I told him, you guys can do what you want, but it's not the right answer. Is it an easier answer? Yeah. Because they could have gone into a deal with less money down. But that isn't the point. The point is always doing things legally, always doing things right. Because I believe, and you don't have to agree with me, but I believe we're getting judged not by anybody else on this earth. We're going to get judged a little bit later. That's my opinion always. I don't want to get into religion and politics and all that stuff on here, but I have a belief system and I can't hide it from you. And so, air quotes, you like that, Dan? I got a lot of air quotes today. But Amanda was exactly right. They had a situation where The mortgage broker was telling them they should do it this way. Could they have gotten in for less money down? Yeah, but it's the wrong thing to do. Always have integrity. And so I was working with some real estate folks over the weekend on Saturday. And for those of you guys that have never seen a presentation that I do with real estate, I have 7 rules. And the last rule is always have integrity. The rule right before that is be legal. And so any time that you are getting away from your moral compass and you're going to feel it, you shouldn't probably act in that way. And so you've always got to have that moral compass. And if you don't have a moral compass, then that's something you should probably be working on. I'm not the guy to give you the moral compass. So you're putting the rules in there, Dan? That is too funny. And I'd rather just say it and then people can ask me those questions. It's all good. And so thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. Hey, and your microphone, I think, is working pretty. This is actually Dan's microphone. It's not even mine. But Dan's going to be here in a couple of weeks when we do the presentation. There's going to be, in this little studio room right here, there's going to be probably 6 or 7 of us in here. And we're going to be doing the best we can to make it look like a live in-person presentation. I see a lot of these Zoom things, and I want to thank some of the people that last week we did a practice run-through we did Zoom practice is what we did. And so I had about 20 people from all over the world helping me out, helping us out at Burbank to do the Zoom practice. And what I think is going to be cool when we do our 3-day training coming up here in a week and a half or so is we're all going to be in the same room together. So it's going to be like a live presentation, and there'll be banter back and forth. I'm going to guess that maybe some of my business partners might give me a little bit of grief. That, right, Dan, never happens. I'll do the air quotes for him right there. And so that happens all the time. But that's going to be a lot of fun. But I want to go back to the mentality of the 4-minute mile, because a lot of times our mind is telling us one thing. Our mind is telling us, oh, we're a certain age so we can stop. I know Peter, 64 years old, he told me that the other day. I didn't know he was 64. I had no idea. I thought you were about my age, Peter, or real close. But the thing with Peter is, doesn't matter what his health situation is, he's never going to quit. I know that. Now, my mother-in-law, on the other hand, she's really old, like way old. I won't even say how old she is. But I know she's never going to quit either. And that is the type of people I want to surround myself with. And so Dan made a comment to me, I don't know, a few weeks ago. We were getting ready for our presentation. And Dan made a comment. He goes, Pip, and he was actually smacking me. Said something about my age of 52. He said, I'm so appreciative that somebody your age is still wanting to do more, wanting to improve. I don't know how I would do it any differently. That was actually Dan smacking me for my age. But the cool part about it, and what I was telling Dan, is I hope that down the road when he's my age, his son Vincent will be in his 20s at that point. I hope that he can show his son Vincent that it's about continuing to get better no matter what age you are, no matter what don't put me in a Zoom room with Benoit. If I did, I apologize. Dan did that, Glenn, not me. And so I really think it's important to never, ever stop, no matter what your age, no matter what your financial situation is, no matter what your mental situation is. Keep moving forward, keep raising the bar, because I think that's what life is all about, is continuing to improve, continuing to challenge yourself. Don't think, everybody's like, I want to retire. I understand retirement, that's great. But I think in retirement, all that means is you have more choices. We got more old people on the call today. Hi, Mitzi. That wasn't very nice, but I had to. And so I don't think you ever want to stop. And I really want to put that out there. I'm never going to stop, no matter how old I get, no matter what financial situation my life is. I want to keep moving forward. And I hope I encourage you guys to keep doing the same thing. So it's really cool to see a lot of you guys that have already signed up for the 3-day training. Oh my gosh, all the way from San Antonio, Jessica. I think you're San Antonio, if I'm not mistaken. And I know some of you guys are like, why does he do that? I like the challenge of trying to remember where everybody's from. Mitzi just told me that she's not old. You're just older than me, that's all I know. And so, Jessica, let me know, are you from San Antonio before I get off the call today? And so, I really want you guys to think that you're constantly challenging yourself. I challenge myself on memory. Amit was asking how I remember things. You got to go out there. First of all, you got to be willing to make a mistake, and you got to be willing to challenge yourself. I could say Jessica is from San Antonio, and then all of a sudden she says, no, I'm from some other place. I did that with Amanda. I have a young lady, by her last name is Soto, and I got Amanda Soto mixed up with another young lady by the name of Soto over in Brisbane, Australia that I know. Laredo. Went up to San Antonio. Okay, I didn't realize. How far is Laredo from San Antonio? I don't even know that answer. And so, LaShawn Walker. Chicago? I'm really guessing, LaShawn. I'm thinking Chicago. I'm trying to, and you guys are thinking, man, this guy's really weird. He loves to have conversations back and forth with people. Oh, Dan, I want to do this. Peter and I have been talking about this. I need to, and I'm going to try this. We'll do another Facebook Live on Wednesday. And what I want to do on Wednesday, I want to do it with Zoom as well. And I know Dan knows how to do that because we just did that. Oh, cool. From Chicago. That's awesome. And so 2 hours. Good to know that. I didn't know how far Laredo was. But boy, Laredo must be really kind of out in the middle of nowhere then, because that's a long ways. Anyway, so what I want to do for the Wednesday Facebook Live is to, and I haven't done it yet. I'm not going to say for sure, but I think we can get it. We were working with this the other day, how we can do Facebook Live with Zoom. And I want that way. What's going to be cool for me is I'm going to have you guys put your videos on, and we're going to wave, and we're going to have some fun, take some screenshots, all that good stuff. Oh my gosh, Nancy, you came to the training with Allison, if I remember. So you guys are up in the, right outside of Niagara Falls area, if I remember right, is where you guys live. At least that's where I think Allison's from. And that's down there just north of Buffalo, Niagara Falls. I can't remember all the names of the little towns that are in that area. What's the name of the town in New York that had the big thing back in the 60s? All the music thing. Because there's a town like that in Ontario that I think you guys are close to. Oh my gosh. Why can't I think of it? Somebody help me out here. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm saying something that takes a minute to get it back. Where they had the Woodstock. Nancy, are you from the Woodstock area? You and Allison? I think that's close to where you're at. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So, right on the border of Mexico. So, Laredo. Okay, cool. Anyway, so I have nothing else to say about this topic today. I could talk for 10 more hours. I enjoy this back and forth, and I love seeing new people on here. I love seeing people that I haven't seen for a while. Nancy, I haven't seen you in years. Jessica, I haven't seen you in a while, but Dunnville, is that close to the town I just mentioned? Woodstock? Is that close to it? Dunnville close to Woodstock? I thought you guys told me it was close to that. I could be wrong. Barrie, you're just throwing out Barrie. Barrie's north of Toronto. I've been to Barrie multiple times. Elizabeth Kelly, I think at one point lived up in Barrie that I was on a webinar with last weekend. But anyway, so great to have the banter back and forth. I'm sure the people that watch the recorded version of this are going, this guy's attention span is that of a gnat. Well, that'd probably be about as long. My attention span is not good. I like to constantly move around, do everything closer to Niagara Falls. Okay, cool. And so I love to have the back and forth. I'm really excited about getting this for Zoom. I know I've been talking about it for a week or two, and I keep just working on my microphones and cameras and all that good stuff. So as I keep the technology going back and forth, getting that better, I'm going to do Zoom on the next one, I hope. So that will be my goal. That will be my goal for Wednesday. And we'll try to do about the same time on Wednesday, 1 o'clock Central Time. Well, I'll figure it out for sure. I got to look at my calendar. I know I've got some appointments on Wednesday. Can't remember exactly what I have. I probably should look that up right now. Oh, we may have to do later in the day on Wednesday. Yeah, we'll probably do about 4 o'clock Wednesday afternoon somewhere. No, I can't do that. Daughter's got a volleyball game. We'll figure it out maybe earlier in the day. You'll see it come up on the Facebook stuff. So once again, please, if you have any questions about the Burbank Summit, you can go to burbanksummit.com, check it out there. If you got an email from me, even if you're not coming, just let me know that you got the email, because one of the things that I know there are people that have got an email, and I even know that they opened it, and that's completely fine. but I don't know anything past that. And so what I would like to do is, even if you're not coming, just let me know. Hey, not coming, no big deal. But at least I know you got the email. Because one of the things that's really tough with marketing, whether it be emails or Facebook, to even know if people are seeing it. And so I just want to make sure that my marketing is getting out there to people, whether you decide to come or not. That's not the question. I just want to know. If Allison says, Pip, I got the email, but I'm not going to make it, that's fine. We're going to be doing more of these trainings after this first one, but this one is going to be the first time that we put together what's called the Burbank Mastermind, our first Burbank Mastermind with that. And I've never done a mastermind group with a group of people, and so I'm excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that's going to last for the next 6-7 months kind of thing. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that, help people take their businesses to levels that hopefully they've never been before. That's my goal. And so I know I got people like Alfonso and Steven and Peter. We're going to be taking things to a whole nother level. That's the goal as we move forward with this. So once again, 23rd, 24th, 25th. I'll keep saying it because if I don't promote it, nobody else is going to promote it. So 23rd, 24th, 25th it's going to be our 3-day training, all on sales. And I'm almost wondering if I need to change it to communication, because I think some people I'm not in sales. I've been doing my best for the last 3 weeks with the Facebook Lives to explain to everybody you're all in sales, no matter what you do. My mother-in-law work with adults with disabilities, but she knows that she's in sales every day. And if you don't understand that, if you don't think your business is sales, I think you're probably missing a lot of opportunities. Because every relationship, every time we talk to somebody, we're selling something. So I think that's what we need to all understand. Our training is going to be based on better communication, better sales, better serving, follow-up, all those kinds of things. We're going to talk about some NLP stuff that you can use it isn't crazy NLP, but it does work. And you can use them in everyday situations, things like that. So Wednesday, we're going to do another one of these. Not exactly sure what day or what time it's going to be on Wednesday, but please, if you have any questions, you can go to the Burbank Summit, or you can send me a private message on my Facebook, or send me an email, whatever you need to do. Please let me know if you got the email. That's at least helpful to me to know that the emails are getting out there for the next one and the next one and the next one. So I'd greatly appreciate that. I don't have a lot else to say today. At least I could be, but I won't. We'll be there on vacation. Very cool. You guys are awesome. So Amanda, make sure you go on to the burbanksummit.com, or I think Steve or somebody put a link in here earlier, and so it's in here as well. There's a link. I know I saw it earlier. Somebody put it in there, and now I can't find it, but that's okay. I got to put my glasses on to see it is my problem. It's in there somewhere. But either way, burbanksummit.com, Amanda, there you go. Thanks, Bradley. And so you're going to get to see us. Alfonso, I can't wait to see you, my friend. And that's all going to be on Zoom. So it's going to be there's going to be a lot of group work on that. We're going to start group work immediately on Friday morning, because I know that as groups, we can do a lot more than we can individually. So it's not going to be just me talking for 3 days. If that's what you want, I guess you're crazier than I think, but it's going to be a lot of group work, and all my business partners are going to be here. So there's going to be people a lot smarter than me on that, so that's always a good thing. Got the email. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. And so just want to make sure you guys are getting that information. I know it was Canadian Thanksgiving, and so some people may be a little bit behind on their emails. Either way, looking forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday again. This week we're going to do another Facebook Live, probably earlier in the morning it looks like, but then we're going to really start pushing forward to our training on October 23rd, 24th, 25th. So as I say every time when I get on one of these, please do me a favor, keep being positive, keep pushing people up, not pushing them down or pulling people up, whatever word you want to use. Turn to somebody you know, somebody you don't know, tell them you're going to be all right. You guys have a great day. Thanks for being on today.